Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are jumping into what feels like an incredibly urgent and high-stakes part of this story.
It really is. The world has just violently shrunk around our main characters.
Right, so our mission today is to really understand this terrifying new phase in the journey for Rand and Mat. We're talking about the loss of their protector and, more importantly, the rise of this fanatical, organized threat that's hunting them in the name of the light.
And we're going to be focusing on chapters 27, 29, and 30, but also pulling in the consequences that ripple out from these events.
It feels like a huge turning point.
It's absolutely crucial. This is where the story pivots from running from, supernatural monsters, Trollocs, Murdral, to running from something almost worse.
The all-too-human dangers.
Exactly. Zealous ideology, political maneuvering, and just this deep institutional paranoia. It's a whole different kind of fear.
And what's so striking as we dive in is that Rand, Mat, and Tom Merrilin are just completely on their own. They're fugitives, and they have no idea, really, of the full orchestrated scope of the pursuit against them.
None at all. They think they're heading towards safety, moving into what they see as civilized territory.
But what they find is that the world has just traded one kind of terror for another.
It's the complexity of their situation that really defines everything going forward. I mean, think about it. They are hunted by the explicit evil of the Shadow.
Okay, that's clear.
But at the same time, they're being targeted by this massive continent-spanning army, the Children of the Light, who absolutely despise the very people, the Aes Sedai, who are trying to protect them.
The ground is literally disappearing from under their feet.
It is, and the simple truth becomes this. Having the ultimate evil chasing you is, in some ways, less dangerous than having absolutely nobody you can trust.
Okay, so before we get into the new threats, let's just quickly set the scene. Let's unpack where they are, mentally and physically, as they leave the wilderness behind.
So last we saw them, they'd fled Shader Logoth. The group was completely scattered.
And Rand, Mat, and Tom, they made a choice. They decided to travel the long way down the river Arenelle.
And this is so important. They are actively, deliberately avoiding Moiraine and Lan.
They still just do not trust them.
That decision is born from pure trauma. I mean, they have no context for what's happening. They've seen Moiraine do these incredible world-bending things with the One Power.
But they've also been chased by Shadowspawn and forced into a city of ancient, soul-eating evil.
From their very rural, very isolated frame of reference, Moiraine is this unnerving manipulator. She's a sorceress whose motives they can't possibly fathom.
So her help feels like a potential trap.
It feels like the biggest trap of all. The river, to them, offers speed and, they hope, anonymity. But what it really does is isolate them even further from anyone who can actually help.
And this journey down the river, it eventually brings them back to civilization, or at least something that looks like it. They get to Whitebridge and meet Captain Doman on his ship, the Spray.
Right, and chapter 27, through Doman, gives us this vital dose of global context.
It shows that the chaos they thought was just, happening back home in the Two Rivers
is actually infecting the entire continent. The scale of the conflict is just enormous.
And Captain Delman is really the perfect person to deliver this news.
He is. He's this worldly, pragmatic merchant, but even he is caught up in it all. He's the one who shares the news about the capture of Logain.
The latest self-proclaimed false dragon.
Yes, and for you as a listener, this is so key because it establishes that what's happening to Rand, this potential destiny, isn't unique. It's a repeating historical pattern, a terrifying one.
So Logain had this huge army. He was marching from Keeldan toward Tear, and then he was caught.
Yeah.
What did that do to the political landscape? What were the immediate consequences?
Total chaos, absolute dislocation. The news of his capture and then the shattering of his army, it meant thousands of refugees were suddenly fleeing in every direction.
So the roads are just choked with people.
Choked. You've got travelers, you've got soldiers who are deserting, people just desperate to put any distance they can between themselves and the fighting.
Which, weirdly, creates a kind of opportunity for Rand and Mat.
It's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, yeah, it's easier to hide in a crowd. Everyone's a traveler, everyone's a refugee.
But on the other hand,
the normal structures of law and order are completely fraying at the seams. So simple things like finding a safe inn for the night become infinitely more dangerous.
And in the middle of all this political news, Dolman also talks about something else, something more legendary, the Great Hunt of the Horn.
It's such a perfect juxtaposition, isn't it? You have mass terror and political collapse with Logain on one side.
And then this grand, glittering fantasy quest on the other.
The Great Hunt for the Horn of Valere, The horn that, according to legend, will summon the heroes of old to fight in Tarmangaidon, the last battle.
And it's not just a rumor. There are official proclamations.
Official, stamped with seals, tied with ribbons, being carried far and wide. It's validating the very legends these farm boys grew up hearing as bedtime stories. The world is changing from a mundane, predictable place into something. Well, something from the Age of Legends.
Or at least an Age of Heroes.
And it's pulling everyone into its gravity. Even a seasoned, cynical merchant like Bail Doman.
Amidst all this, though, all this news and chaos, we start to see these small, telling details about Tom. He's supposed to be their experienced guide, right?
He is.
But he's getting more and more withdrawn. He seems cautious.
He completely shuts down. The great glee man, the master of charisma and distraction, suddenly goes quiet.
He stops telling jokes, stops the easy banter.
Yeah. He's just watching the ship's crew, especially when they start whispering about what's happening ashore. He keeps his own counsel. He's just absorbed in tuning his harp or lighting his pipe.
It's a sign of deep professional fear, isn't it? He knows their cover story is flimsy.
It's paper thin. And he knows their casual talk about Trollocs and the Blight is making the crew more and more suspicious.
He's looking for danger not in the monsters, but in the normal, everyday people.
Exactly. Tom understands that the Dark One doesn't just send Myrddraal. He uses human fear, human greed, human suspicion. He can feel that the crew is getting close to either acting on their fear or, maybe worse, trying to claim a reward.
And he feels powerless to stop it.
He can only guide them for so long. He knows they're running straight into a trap that only a kind of political savvy can get them out of, and, well, they are fresh out of allies with any political savvy.
So after they leave the river, and that brief moment of feeling relatively safe, Rand and Mat with Tom, they arrive at a small village called Four Kings.
And the shift in atmosphere is immediate. It's jarring.
This place is a world away from the two rivers.
A complete world away. The description is crucial here. It's all about squalor, unease, a general feeling of decay. They're moving into inhabited territory, but it's not a welcoming civilization.
It's a civilization that's corroding.
Yes, under the weight of all these global conflicts. Rand immediately notes the dirt, the noise, and this deep sense of unease that just settles over him. It's a feeling that's much stronger than anything he felt even in a bigger town like Whitebridge.
And that gut feeling, as we learn right away in chapter 29, is 100% justified. This is where the pursuit changes.
It goes from being an accidental encounter to precise, organized targeting.
Which is where we meet Howl Goad.
Goad is the absolute epitome of this quiet, calculating malice that we need to unpack. You have to contrast him with a snarling, monstrous Trolloc.
Right, he's not a monster, he's a man.
A man wearing rich black velvet, a sign of wealth, of sophistication. But he's conspiring directly with the brutal innkeeper, Hake, and his, large, thuggish henchmen.
He just sits there in the common room observing them.
Observing them, noting their exhaustion, and coordinating the entire trap. He's the one pulling the strings.
It just completely shifts the nature of the threat. This isn't a monster wandering across their path anymore.
No. This proves that the Shadows Network is vast, it's organized, and it's capable of operating at every single level of society, from the highest noble
down to the lowest, dirtiest innkeeper.
Goad and Hake treat Rand and Mat like a transaction, like a piece of merchandise that needs to be secured before payment is made.
And Goad corners Hake, confirms the details, and then gives Rand and Mat that chilling, knowing smile before he disappears.
That smile, that's the moment Rand realizes they've been found. Not by chance, but by design.
It's proof that the network of the Great Lord of the Dark, or maybe it's Padan Fane's network of spies, has been tracking them since they left home.
It's incredibly pervasive, and that external threat is then immediately amplified by the most terrifying internal attack they've faced yet.
The dream confrontation.
Rand falls asleep and he enters that recurring nightmare.
And this is a huge moment, a pivotal one that really defines Rand's immediate future. He has this encounter with Ba'alzamon, the figure of flame.
And the Dark One immediately deploys psychological warfare. He mocks the Aes Sedai. He claims the boys are just tools, puppets being used by the White Tower.
And he's smart about it. He uses history against them.
The genius of Ba'alzamon here is that he cites real historical figures. Davian, Urian Stonebow, Gwaria Malasan, Logan.
All historical or recent false dragons.
Exactly. So by claiming that the Emerald Sea used these men up and then discarded them, he plants this crucial, corrosive seed of doubt in Rand's mind.
The doubt that he's running toward a trap. not away from one.
He's twisting the distrust that Tom already planted. He's feeding the exact fear Rand already has, that his destiny isn't his own, that it's just a chain that Aes Sedai have wrapped around him.
It's just brutal. And this is where things get really strange. The line between reality and the dream world just shatters.
It completely dissolves. We know later this is Tel'aran'rhiod, the world of dreams. Rand is struggling to fight off this psychological assault, and Ba'alzamon throws something at him, a small black thorn.
And the violence of it, the shock, it wakes Rand up instantly.
But the crucial detail, the truly terrifying part, is the physical consequence.
He wakes up, and there is a real bleeding wound on his hand where the dream thorn hit him.
This is a radical reality-bending moment. I mean, think about it. He pulls the splinter out and it just vanishes into thin air.
But the wound is still there. It's still bleeding into the water basin when Mat wakes up and sees it.
For anyone unfamiliar with the deep fantasy physics of this world, the idea that a dream can create real, tangible harm is revolutionary. It's a huge signal of Rand's unique power and his connection to the pattern.
So how does that physical toll confirm his status? What does it mean?
Well, first, it confirms his extraordinary Tavern nature. He's a nexus point around which the pattern weaves itself. But more specifically, it shows that the Dark One, who can't easily track or access Rand in the waking world, is now using the world of dreams as a direct line of attack.
A backdoor.
A backdoor straight into his mind and body. In Tel'aran'rhiod, focused intention and power can manifest physically, especially for a being as powerful as the Dark One attacking a central figure like Rand. The wound is a mark, it's a reminder. And it's chilling proof that Ba'alzamon isn't as bound as the Aes Sedai likes to claim.
He can reach them anywhere, even in the one place that's supposed to be safe, their own minds.
The implication is just terrifying. Rand can be physically harmed, maybe even killed by his nightmares. This shadow doesn't need to send a Myrddraal.
He can just wait until he closes his eyes.
And this whole attack serves as the perfect, brutal prologue to the actual physical trap that Goat has set. The internal horror of the dream just primes them for the external brutality that's about to hit them.
So Rand scrambles out of this nightmare, only to realize the real her is already there. The Myrddraal assault on Hake's Inn is just... it's brutal, it's swift, and it's completely organized.
It confirms Goad's treachery beyond any doubt. The Fade, the half-man, is waiting for them. It's terrifying because of its speed and its silent, chilling malice.
And this is the moment. This is when Tom Merrilin sheds the disguise of the wandering Gleeman and, well, he steps into his heroic, definitive role.
And his tragic role. He sacrifices himself to save the boys. With his final, gasping breaths, he tells them to flee to Camlin, to an inn called the Queen's Blessing.
He physically charges a Myrddraal. He uses his daggers and his staff, a whirlwind of steel against the Shadow's ultimate enforcer.
And the boys don't see him die, but the image they carry with them is indelible. Tom's clothing just hanging in charred rags as he fights the Fade.
That image of the burnt rags.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate confirmation of his dedication, isn't it?
It is. He's a man who tells stories, and in the end, he willingly becomes the hero of a high tragedy, trading his life for their chance to escape. The boys are left running, and their only guide is the last piece of advice from a man they're sure is dead.
And what makes this moment so much more than just a typical hero sacrifice is his motivation, his profound, bitter distrust of the Aes Sedai. That's the framework for everything that comes next.
It's the narrative anchor for their entire continued flight. Tom's motivation, as we learn, comes from the tragic fate of his own nephew, Owen.
Owen could channel the One Power.
He began to channel, yes, and the White Tower found him, and they gentled him.
And for listeners who might not fully grasp the horror of that term, gentling isn't just... it's not just cutting someone off from their magic, is it?
No, it is a complete societal and emotional destruction of a person. It's far, far worse than castration. It is the destruction of the soul.
How so?
When a male channeler is gentled, he's severed from the true source, Sedin, which is the wellspring of his ability and, fundamentally, a part of his very being. The trauma is so profound that almost every man who is gentled simply loses the will to live.
They give up.
They often die soon after, or they descend into a deep madness and despair. It's a death sentence, delivered under the guise of saving the world.
So Tom, knowing this, having lived through this with his own family, he views the Aes Sedai not as saviors, but as an institutional evil.
An evil capable of unimaginable cruelty, all in the name of the greater good.
That history is what frames his final, harsh warning to them.
And it remains one of the most powerful philosophical statements in the early part of the story. Trust Aes Sedai, boy, and you'll wish you were dead.
Remember, the price of Aes Sedai help is always smaller than you can believe, always greater than you can imagine.
He's not just warning them about Moiraine, he's offering them a philosophy of power, that any institution that claims to act for the greater good will inevitably extract a catastrophic personal price from someone.
So because of this, they are running straight toward a dangerous city based on the counsel of a man who died believing the White Tower was a more insidious threat than the Myrddraal he was literally fighting to the death.
It creates this magnificent, tragic irony. The heroes are fleeing the ultimate, explicit evil.
The shadow.
But they're also deliberately running away from the supposed forces of light and order Moiraine because of this deep historical betrayal and paranoia.
And that mistrust, rooted in Tom's trauma, is the perfect lens for their next encounter.
It prepares them perfectly.
Running blindly into the night, injured, disoriented, knowing a Myrddraal is right behind them, Rand and Mat run straight into the next great threat, the human one. The organized fanaticism of the Children of the Light.
Yes, we have to spend some real time on this organization.
So let's do a deep dive, the philosophy, the identity of these zealots.
The Children of the Light, or the Whitecloaks as most people call them, are one of the most feared and frankly misunderstood organizations in the Westlands. Their very identity is absolute, it's uncompromising.
They're a militant religious organization.
A massive one, dedicated solely to the light. And their name is literal. They wear these spotless white cloaks with a big golden sunburst insignia. It symbolizes their unwavering devotion to the Creator and their opposition to the shadow.
They have this phrase, "We hold sway wherever men walk in the light." But what's the actual extent of their power? Are they just a local militia?
Oh no, they are a highly organized, mobile military force. They have formal legions and cohorts. They maintain fortresses in different nations, though they're technically based out of the Fortress of the Light in Amadisha.
So they have real political and military power.
Significant power. They often move freely across national borders, arguing that rooting out the shadow transcends any nation's laws, that they're essentially a pan-national religious army.
And their mission is to root out the shadow, which, as you said, they define incredibly broadly.
As broadly as possible. To them, the shadow isn't just Trollocs and Myrddraal.
It's dark friends, too.
Dark friends, heresy, political dissent, and absolutely, unequivocally, any use of the one power. Theirs is a rigid dogma that allows for zero nuance. They are focused on purification, and their methods are swift, brutal, and terrifying.
They're feared because their justice is based on conviction, not evidence. Which leads to that chilling phrase we hear. They seek to question suspects in the light.
It's a terrifying inversion of justice. That phrase implies extensive torture and coerced confessions.
Does that logic even work?
It's perfectly circular. If a person submits willingly to the questioning and is truly innocent, the light will shine forth and their innocence will be revealed.
And if they resist?
If they try to hold back information or defend themselves too vigorously, well, that's just proof that they're hiding something tainted by the shadow. It is a perfect, self-justifying system of oppression.
Where resistance is automatically proof of guilt.
Precisely. And to carry this out, they have a dedicated, ruthless internal police force.
The Questioners.
We have to talk about the Questioners. While the main body of Whitecloaks are soldiers, the Questioners are the internal affairs arm. They're basically a religious inquisition.
And they're visually distinct, right?
They wear a stylized scarlet patch or trimming on their white cloaks, which marks their authority to judge and punish. Their mandate is terrifying. They bypass all standard legal procedures and answer only to the highest ranks of the children.
They're the ones who specialize in this questioning in the light.
Leaving their prisoners physically and mentally broken or dead, all while claiming they've rooted out the darkness within.
The implication for Rand and Mat, who are already so suspicious and afraid of any authority, is just dire.
They've run from a monster straight into the arms of an organized, zealous state that will automatically, without question, assume the absolute worst about them.
And the very core of this organization is their absolute fundamental hatred of the Aes Sedai.
It is their reason for being.
So let's focus on that. What is this historical grievance? Why do they hate the White Tower so much?
It goes all the way back 3,000 years to the breaking of the world. The breaking was caused by the original dragon, Luz Theron Telamon,
who was a male Aes Sedai.
The most powerful male Aes Sedai of his time. After he sealed the Dark One away, the Dark One's last act was to taint Sedin, the male half of the true source. This drove all the male channelers insane, and they catastrophically destroyed the world in their madness.
So the Whitecloaks' logic is, Since the Aes Sedai, as an organization, trained, housed, and empowered the man who broke the world, the entire institution is therefore inherently tainted.
That is their unshakable dogma. They don't differentiate between Sedin, the tainted male half, and Sadar, the untainted female half. To them, it's all the same. Any use of the one power is immediately suspect.
They see the Aes Sedai as this ultimate corruption.
Yes, manipulating people under the guise of virtue, claiming to fight the shadow. To the Whitecloaks, that makes them a slow, institutional evil that's far more insidious than the overt malice of a Myrddraal.
So Moiraine, a powerful channeler, is essentially their #1 enemy, regardless of her intentions, and anyone associated with her is just as guilty by default.
Exactly. This paranoia allows them to justify any action against anyone even remotely connected to the tower. They believe they are doing the Creator's work by opposing them.
Even if it means chasing after 2 innocent boys who might be Tavern, or even the Dragon Reborn himself.
Especially if it means that. They are fanatically devoted to preventing another breaking, at any cost.
And Rand and Mat run right into a direct encounter with them. Specifically with a high-ranking officer, a young man named Lord Bornhold.
Bornhold's presence is key because it confirms the scale of this threat. This isn't just a few fanatics on the road. This is a formal patrol of a major military force. His golden nod under the sunburst on his cloak signifies high rank.
He's probably leading an entire troop.
At least. The boys have run straight into the organized military arm of the Whitecloaks.
And Bornhold is the one who confirms that their pursuit is no longer just limited to dark friends and monsters. It's now open. It's institutional.
And it has a price on it.
He openly talks about a 100 crown reward being offered for the 2 of them.
Now, whether that reward was started by Dark Friends using a general description of runaways, or if the Whitecloaks themselves designated them as agents of disorder during a sweep, it doesn't even matter.
The result is the same. They are now wanted men, wanted by an organization that claims to be righteous.
And Bornhold justifies it by warning his men that the boys have sly tongues, implying they're manipulators, turning people against the Queen or against the light. The Whitecloaks are actively looking for troublemakers, and Rand and Mat fit that profile perfectly.
They have achieved this rare catastrophic status.
Fugitives of both the light and the shadow. The ultimate evil is hunting them through dreams and assassins, and the self-proclaimed ultimate good is hunting them with warrants and armies. They literally have nowhere safe to turn.
Okay, now let's shift focus to Mat, because his suffering in this whole section is just immense. It's compounded by physical injury and this terrifying new internal decay. He feels like the ultimate innocent casualty here.
Mat's immediate suffering after that dream attack is so visible. He's temporarily blinded by the lightning or fire that struck Rand in the dream.
It's a shared physical wound, a powerful symbol of their Tavern connection. Rand gets the bleeding hand, and Mat gets the blindness.
And Mat, who is usually the mischievous, independent one, is suddenly rendered completely helpless.
He's forced to rely entirely on Rand, and he asks that just heartbreaking, desperate question: if I can't see, you won't leave me, will you?
That one question just encapsulates his vulnerability, the psychological toll of this entire journey. He is terrified of being abandoned, and he's relying on Rand to literally guide his footsteps while they're fleeing a Myrddraal.
The world has completely broken him down. It stripped away all his carefree independence.
But what makes Mat's struggle so much more complex, so much deeper, is that his visible injuries are only a distraction from the real source of his torment.
Which we only fully understand with later context.
The cursed ruby-hilted dagger he took from Shadar Logoth.
That dagger is the source of pure, corrosive evil, Mashadar. The evil that eats souls and spreads paranoia.
Right. And while they're running from the Trollocs, that dagger was already at work on him. By the time they get to Four Kings, Mat is an unwilling vessel for this ancient, malevolent corruption.
Moiraine later explains what the dagger is actually doing to his mind.
She says it introduces suspicion and hatred so strong that even those closest are seen as enemies.
So the taint, it manifests in specific ways.
A few ways, yes. First, there's the obsessive urge to keep the dagger, and an urge to hoard wealth, which corrupts his simple love of luck into a darker avarice. But second, and most relevant right now, it fuels this pervasive paranoia and constant gnawing fear.
So when they're fleeing from Goad and then the Whitecloaks, Mat is constantly panicking.
Constantly. He keeps insisting they're gonna die, or that they're always right on our heels.
So his emotional reaction to being pursued, that intense, debilitating fear, it's not just a normal farm boy being scared.
It's not. It's being amplified and manipulated by an ancient consuming evil that has latched onto his soul. He's not just scared, he is being spiritually poisoned to the point where he can barely recognize his best friend as an ally.
So this is Matt's staggering dual burden. He's fleeing the physical agents of the Dark One.
The murderer.
He's being internally corrupted and made volatile by the evil of Mashadar from the dagger. And he's being hunted by the most zealous, organized agents of the light, the Whitecloaks.
He is caught in a triple trap. He is suffering the consequences of a cosmic war that he never ever wanted to be a part of.
And that context is so vital for you, the listener, to understand. Because it explains why Matt becomes so difficult, so suspicious, so impulsive later on.
His choices are distorted. They're being driven by the dagger's corruption, which feeds his panic and turns him into a ticking time bomb of paranoia.
It takes his natural boyish mischief and twists it into something darker, something more volatile.
He's gone from a simple youth looking for a bit of fun to a magnet for 3 separate vectors of danger and corruption. It's a tragedy.
So the encounter with the Whitecloaks is the final shattering blow to any sense of security they might have had left.
Absolutely. Rand and Matt are now running completely alone, without Tom, with a literal price on their heads.
And they're forced to keep going toward Camlin, leaning only on that last cryptic piece of advice from their lost guide.
Camlin is their only target now. Tom told them the Queen's blessing. That's all they have. They have no resources, Matt is half-blind and spiritually poisoned, and they have this deep mistrust of anyone in a uniform.
Especially a white one.
Especially a white one. They've walked 10 miles from Whitebridge. They know they have at least 2 more days of hard travel ahead of them. The pressure is just immense.
But Camlin, the capital of Andor, it's not a sanctuary, is it? It's a political powder keg. They're running toward a major city that is itself divided by this political and religious fervor.
And this ties all the way back to the tensions we saw earlier. Camlin is divided between 2 major factions, and they're symbolized by colored cockades and armbands.
You have the red cockades.
They support Queen Morgus, who is, importantly, advised by a powerful Aes Sedai named Elaida.
And then you have the white cockades.
The white cockades are deeply sympathetic to the Whitecloaks. They actively blame the Queen's association with the White Tower for all the world's current problems. The bad weather, the failing crops, the rise of false dragons, all of it.
So Rand and Matt are running toward a place where the Whitecloaks are actively stirring up political unrest against the government. And they themselves are wanted by the Whitecloaks.
Precisely. It's a perfect trap. If they show any sympathy for the Queen's side, the Red, they risk being associated with the Aes Sedai, which makes them a target for the Whitecloaks.
And if they try to blend in with the White faction,
they're associating with the very organization that's currently hunting them for a reward. They're running toward a guaranteed confluence of danger, seeking shelter in the eye of a vast geopolitical storm.
All while carrying a crysted dagger and a literal world-ending prophecy on their backs.
The tragic irony just gets deeper and deeper. Tom Marilyn died, saving them from a murderer and guiding them away from the perceived trap of the Aes Sedai.
Only for that very advice to lead them directly into a politically charged city where the Whitecloaks have already set up shop and are gaining influence.
It's the ultimate manifestation of the pattern's cruelty, or maybe its complexity. The children of the light claim to be the only true servants of the Creator.
Yet they're hunting the very children the Aes Sedai believe are central to the pattern's survival and the last battle.
When the light and the shadow are both actively hunting you, where can true safety possibly be?
Which brings us to our final provocative thought for today.
This whole deep dive fundamentally challenges the idea of moral clarity in this world. The Whitecloaks, driven by rigid certainty and religious fanaticism, are inadvertently doing the shadow's work.
How so?
They're creating chaos. They're sowing deep societal distrust. And they're targeting the Tavern, who are essential for the world's survival. They operate under the pretense of justice, but their methods are pure terror.
So is it possible that the greatest threat facing this world, maybe even more than the Dark One himself, is humanity's inability to agree on what the light actually looks like? This self-destructive, fanatical zealotry.
I think you have to consider it. The fanaticism of the Whitecloaks is more dangerous than a Trolloc because it operates within the framework of civilization and justice. It uses the tools of organized society to persecute and divide.
They force everyone, including our heroes, to distrust authority, which makes the legitimate fight against the actual shadow infinitely harder.
Exactly.
That is an astonishing level of detail and synthesis on this just, horrific transition for Rand and Matt. The key takeaway here feels undeniable. The explicit physical danger Trollocs, Myrddraal, Dark Friend
is now matched and maybe even surpassed by the institutional danger. The Whitecloaks on one side and this profound, justified distrust of the Aes Sedai on the other.
Rand and Mat are now truly alone. They're stripped of their guide and facing organized hostility at every turn, both external and, thanks to that dagger, internal as well.
Their hope rests entirely on a single whispered name, the Queen's blessing, a final memory given to them by a dead man consumed by fire.
Next time we enter Caemlyn, we're going to explore the grand, complicated politics of Queen Morgause's court, the hidden tunnels and dark corners of the city, and we'll see if Rand and Mat can possibly find the shelter that Tom promised.
Or if they've simply run into a much larger, more intricate trap, whether it was set by the Questioners or by the White Tower itself. We'll find out if Tom Merrilyn's tragic advice leads them to safety, or to a price that is truly greater than they can imagine.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be waiting for you in Caemlyn.